All right, welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're going to be taking a focused look at the global market for vagus nerve stimulation, VNS. Looking at the projections for this year, 2025,
Yeah.
we're working with a recent market report called the Vagus Nerve Stimulation VNS Market Report 2025, Global Edition from Cognitive Market Research,
Oh, okay.
and it was updated just this past January. Our goal is to extract the most crucial insights
Right.
about where this market is headed,
Right.
the growth drivers, the key areas,
Hmm.
the key technologies within this field.
Sounds good.
So, are you ready to jump in?
Absolutely. I'm always fascinated to see how therapies like VNS evolve, and gain wider adoption. And this report really gives us a detailed snapshot of the landscape as it stands in 2025.
Right. So, let's just jump right into some numbers.
Okay.
So, the report projects the global VNS market to reach $618.2 million USD in 2025.
Wow.
That's a pretty significant figure to start with.
Yeah, it is.
But here's where it gets really interesting. There's substantial growth anticipated beyond this year.
Oh.
So what do you see in the report there?
Well, the projection shows a market climbing to 12,204.93 million USD by 2033.
Wow.
So if we look at that growth over time, it works out to a compound annual growth rate, or CER, of 8.7% between 2025 and 2033.
Okay.
This kind of sustained growth suggests strong and increasing demand for what VNS therapy can offer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what's the engine driving this kind of expansion?
Well,
What's propelling this?
the report points to a really important factor, that many of us are seeing more and more,
Okay.
which is the increasing prevalence of neurological disorders,
Right.
things like epilepsy and depression.
Right.
And it makes sense that, as these conditions become more widespread, the need for effective interventions such as VNS will also rise.
Makes total sense. So what do you think about, why are we seeing this increase in prevalence?
Well, that's a pretty multifaceted issue.
Yeah.
But I think there's several things that probably contribute. Improved diagnostic tools mean that we can identify these conditions more readily. Additionally, I think greater awareness and reduced stigma surrounding mental health may lead more people to seek a diagnosis and treatment.
Okay.
It's also possible that environmental or lifestyle factors are playing a role, but that's definitely an area of ongoing research.
Okay.
Regardless of the exact reasons, though, the increasing numbers definitely underscore the need for effective therapies like VNS,
Right.
especially for those who haven't found relief with more traditional treatment.
Absolutely. Now let's take a look at how this market breaks down geographically.
Okay.
So the report gives us a really detailed regional picture.
Yeah.
And it seems that North America currently holds the largest share, accounting for over 40% of the global market in 2025,
Right.
with a size of 247.28 million USD.
Why do you think that North America is leading the way here?
Well, I think several factors contribute to North America's strong position.
Yeah.
As the report highlights, there's a high prevalence of these neurological disorders that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Furthermore, North America has really seen significant advancements in VNS device technology, and a growing acceptance of therapies that are less invasive than traditional surgery.
Yeah.
The strong healthcare infrastructure and generally favorable insurance reimbursement policies in the region also play a crucial role.
Okay.
in making VNS accessible to more patients.
Right.
And plus, there's a growing awareness of mental health issues and a willingness to explore different treatment options.
Yeah.
It's really a combination of need, innovation, and access.
Yeah. That makes total sense.
And the growth in North America is projected to continue, though at a slightly lower rate than the global average, with a CAGR of 6.9% from 2025 to 2033. The report even drills down to specific countries.
Oh, okay.
So the United States, unsurprisingly, makes up the bulk of the North American market with a projected 195.10 million USD in 2025.
Right.
And a 6.7% CGR.
Okay.
Canada and Mexico also show significant numbers.
Yeah.
So what do we see there?
Well, Canada and Mexico represent important segments within North America, with 29.67 million and 22.50 million USD respectively in 2025.
Okay.
And solid CAGRs of 7.7% and 7.4%. So this really indicates a healthy healthy and expanding market across the entire region.
Okay. So let's move across the Atlantic to Europe.
Okay.
So they hold over 30% of the global market share with a market size of 185.46 million USD in 2025.
Right.
And projected TGR of 7.2% from 2025 to 2033.
Yeah.
What are some of the similarities and differences that you see between the European North American markets?
Well, there are definitely parallels.
Yeah.
Europe also faces a rising incidence of neurological disorders, which is obviously a key driver.
Of course.
However, Europe has a particularly strong history and adoption of neuromodulation therapies in general, and VNS fits well within that landscape. We also see ongoing, technological advancements in VNS devices,
Right.
and a growing public awareness of alternative treatment options.
Yeah.
Importantly, there's significant investment in research and development across many European countries. The market breakdown in the report shows that the UK, Germany, and Russia are key players in 2025, followed by other significant markets like France, Italy, and Spain. Interestingly, the UK's projected growth rate is a bit higher at 8%.
So even Luxembourg, Portugal, and Greece, while smaller in overall market size, also show some interesting growth rates.
Right.
It highlights that VNS adoption isn't limited to the largest European economies.
Exactly. Even in smaller healthcare markets, the benefits of VNS are being, recognized and adopted and contributing to the overall growth in the European region.
Okay, now let's turn our attention eastward to the Asia-Pacific region.
Right.
They hold around 23% of the global market in 2025, with a size of 142.19 million USD. But the standout statistic here is their projected CAGR of 10.7% from 2025 to 2033. That's the highest growth rate globally.
Wow.
So what's fueling this rapid expansion in Asia-Pacific?
Well, this high growth rate in Asia-Pacific is driven by a combination of factors.
Okay.
Similar to other regions, the increasing prevalence of neurological disorders is a significant contributor.
Right.
However, there's also a notable rise in healthcare awareness and improving access to medical technology across many countries in the region.
Oh, okay.
Government investments in healthcare infrastructure are playing a crucial role, along with a growing acceptance of less invasive therapies and a greater focus on mental health, which is becoming less stigmatized in many Asian societies.
Okay.
Countries like China and India are major contributors to this growth.
Yeah.
China, with a large existing market, is still projected for strong growth, while India, though starting from a smaller base, has the highest projected CAGR in the region.
Interesting. It sounds like Asia Pacific represents a significant growth opportunity for the VNS market.
Yeah.
Now Australia and Southeast Asia also feature prominently in the report's growth projections for the region.
Right.
So what are we seeing there?
Well, we see, robust growth expected in Australia and across Southeast Asian nations, indicating a broad, adoption trend throughout the Asia-Pacific region.
Moving to Latin America, the report indicates they hold over 5% of the global market share with 30.91 million USD in 2025 and a projected CAGR of 8.1%. What are the key characteristics of the Latin American market?
Well, Brazil and Argentina are the largest markets in Latin America.
Okay.
And the report suggests that the increasing incidence of neurological disorders, coupled with a growing awareness of neuromodulation as a viable treatment option, are key drivers.
Okay.
Improvements in healthcare infrastructure and government support for medical advancements are also contributing, as is the adoption of VNS for patients with conditions that haven't responded well to other treatments.
Okay. Finally, let's look at the Middle East and Africa.
Okay.
They represent a smaller portion of the global market, around 2%, estimated at 12.36 million USD in 2025, but with a projected CAGR of 8.4%. So what's the outlook for this region?
Well, the GCC countries and South Africa are significant players in the Middle East and Africa.
Okay.
And the drivers here include a rising prevalence of, neurological disorders.
Of course. Yeah.
Increasing awareness of VNS therapy.
Right.
Improvements in healthcare infrastructure and a gradual adoption of innovative medical treatments.
Okay.
While the current market size is smaller compared to other regions, the projected growth rate suggests a positive trajectory.
So across all these regions, a clear pattern emerges.
Hmm.
The increasing need to address neurological disorders is a primary driver for the VNS market.
Right.
But, it's fascinating to see how regional factors like, healthcare systems, economic conditions, and cultural attitudes towards these therapies also play a significant role in shaping market size and growth rates.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now let's shift our focus to how the market is segmented by different aspects of the technology and its use.
Okay.
So the report breaks this down by product type, application material, and end user.
All right.
So let's start with product type. It appears that implantable VNS currently dominates.
Yeah, that's the current landscape. Implantable VNS devices, which are, surgically placed to deliver continuous or intermittent stimulation to the vagus nerve, hold the largest market share.
Right.
And this is likely due to their established efficacy, particularly in treating, chronic conditions like epilepsy and depression, where long-term therapy is often required.
Right.
These devices also offer the advantage of typically needing less frequent maintenance compared to other treatment modalities.
But the report also points out that non-invasive VNS, sometimes referred to as transcutaneous vagus nerve stimulation, or TVNS, is the fastest growing segment.
Yeah.
So what's driving this rapid growth in non-invasive options?
Well, the appeal of non-invasive VNS is significant. By delivering stimulation through the skin, often on the neck or ear, it avoids the risks and costs associated with surgical implantation.
Right.
The report indicates, its increasing popularity for a range of conditions, including depression, epilepsy, and even chronic pain. This growth really reflects a broader trend in medicine towards less invasive interventions whenever they can provide effective outcomes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Less invasive procedures often mean lower risk and potentially quicker recovery times.
Yeah.
Which are certainly attractive to both patients and healthcare providers.
Of course.
Now let's look at how VNS is being applied.
Okay.
The report indicates that pain management is currently the dominant application. And that was somewhat surprising to me initially.
Yeah, it might seem unexpected,
Yeah.
but when you consider the sheer number of people worldwide who suffer from chronic pain conditions, things like migraines, fibromyalgia, neuropathic pain,
Right.
it becomes clear. The report suggests that VNS is increasingly being explored and utilized as an alternative or adjunctive treatment to traditional pain management methods,
Right.
which can sometimes have significant side effects or limited long-term effectiveness.
Right.
The way VNS interacts with the nervous system likely offers a different pathway for pain relief.
Interesting. And in terms of the application with the most rapid growth, it's the treatment of epileptic seizures.
That's right.
This aligns with our earlier discussion about the increasing prevalence of neurological disorders.
Exactly. As our understanding of epilepsy evolves and as we, recognize the limitations of medication for some individuals with drug-resistant epilepsy, VNS is becoming a more widely accepted and adopted therapeutic option for managing seizures.
Let's switch gears and talk about the materials used in VNS devices.
Okay.
The report indicates that metallic materials currently hold the dominant share.
Right.
What kind of metals are we talking about here, and why are they preferred?
Typically, we're looking at biocompatible metals like titanium and stainless steel. These materials have a long history of safe and effective use in medical implants.
Right.
Due to their durability, resistance to corrosion within the body, and overall reliability in the stimulators and electrodes that deliver those electrical pulses.
But similar to the product type, there's a faster growing segment in materials, polymeric materials.
Yes.
So what's driving the increasing use of polymers in VNS technology?
Well, the growing use of polymers really reflects their increasing sophistication and enhanced biocompatibility. They offer greater flexibility, which can be particularly beneficial in the design of electrodes and leads.
Oh, yeah.
Potentially leading to, improved patient comfort and reduced tissue irritation over the long term.
Okay.
Advancements in polymer science are making them an increasingly viable alternative to some metallic components in VNS devices.
Finally, let's consider who the primary users of VNS technology are. So hospitals are currently the dominant end user, which again seems logical given the nature of the of the conditions being treated.
Yes, yes. Hospitals serve as the central hubs for diagnosing and managing complex neurological and psychiatric conditions.
Right.
They have the necessary infrastructure, specialized medical personnel and facilities to administer both implantable and non-invasive VNS therapies.
However, the report highlights that ambulatory surgical centers, or ASCs, are the fastest growing end user segment.
Right.
So what's behind this trend?
Well, the rise of ASCs is really about, efficiency and cost effectiveness.
Okay.
They provide a setting for performing surgical and other medical procedures on an outpatient basis. As VNS technology becomes more refined and as the demand for minimally invasive procedures grows,
Right.
ASCs offer a convenient and potentially more affordable alternative to traditional hospital settings for certain VNS procedures.
So across these different segmentations, we see a recurring theme of movement towards less invasive techniques and more streamlined, cost-effective ways of delivering care.
Right.
And that seems to be a significant trend within the VNS market.
Absolutely.
Now let's touch on some of the broader market dynamics. So the report outlines key drivers, restraints, and ongoing trends.
Right.
So we've already discussed some of the drivers, like the increasing awareness of non-invasive mental health treatments and the technological advancements in the devices themselves.
Yeah.
What other factors are significantly propelling this market forward?
Well, the growing emphasis on personalized medicine is a crucial driver.
Okay.
VNS therapy can be tailored to individual patient needs through adjustments and stimulation parameters. And the ongoing developments in mice technology allow for more precise and responsive stimulation, aligning perfectly with this trend towards more individualized healthcare solutions.
On the other hand, what are some of the challenges or limitations that might be slowing down even more rapid adoption of VNS?
Well, the cost of the VNS devices and the overall treatment can be a significant barrier.
Right.
Limiting access for some patients, particularly in regions with less robust healthcare funding or insurance coverage.
Right.
Additionally, despite increasing awareness, there's still a need for greater understanding of VNS therapy among both patients and some healthcare professionals.
Okay.
And access to specialized medical centers that offer VNS may be limited in certain geographic areas.
And what are some of the key trends that you anticipate shaping the VNS market in the coming years?
Well, we're definitely seeing a continued and growing adoption of non-invasive VNS, especially in the realm of mental health treatment. The report also suggests a rising trend towards combining VNS with other therapeutic modalities such as medication, psychotherapy, or even other forms of neuromodulation.
Right.
To potentially achieve better and more synergistic treatment outcomes.
It's exciting to think about how these different therapeutic approaches might integrate and build upon each other in the future.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Finally, let's briefly discuss the competitive landscape.
Okay.
So the report mentions several key companies active in the VNS market.
Yes, it's a competitive market with significant players like Livanova,
Okay.
whose VNS therapy system has a long history in treating epilepsy and depression, as well as other innovative companies such as Biocontrol, Electrocore, Parasim Ltd, and others.
Good.
Competition in this space is largely driven by the introduction of new and improved product offerings, the accumulation of strong clinical evidence demonstrating efficacy, and the successful navigation of regulatory approval processes.
And it sounds like forming strategic partnerships and collaborations is also an important aspect of staying competitive in this field.
Absolutely. Collaborations can help companies expand their reach.
Right.
Access new technologies and strengthen their overall market position.
So to bring it all together, based on this 2025 market report, the global VNS market is clearly on a path of significant growth.
Yeah.
The increasing need for effective treatments for a range of neurological and mental health conditions is the primary driving force, with the Asia Pacific region showing particularly strong growth potential.
It's exciting.
And while implantable devices currently hold the largest market share, the non-invasive segment is expanding rapidly.
Right. And it's crucial to remember that the market dynamics vary considerably by region,
Right.
influenced by, specific healthcare systems, economic factors, and the rate at which new medical technologies are adopted.
Right.
Looking at the market segmentation by, by product type, application, material, and end user gives us, a much more detailed understanding of where the key areas of innovation and growth are concentrated.
This has been a really illuminating deep dive into the VNS market.
Yeah, it has.
It's clear that this is a field with a lot of promise for addressing some very challenging health issues.
Yeah.
So here's a final thought for you to consider.
Okay.
Given the diverse applications of VNS, from managing epilepsy and depression to alleviating chronic pain,
Yeah.
and considering the rapid advancements in non-invasive technologies and the growing movement towards personalized medicine,
Right.
how might VNS integrate with emerging fields like digital therapeutics and artificial intelligence to offer even more tailored and accessible solutions for an even wider spectrum of conditions in the future? It really feels like we're only beginning to explore the full potential of this fascinating therapy.
I think you're absolutely right.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
My pleasure.